I wrote a book. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see, as you can tell. The last video I posted was around a year ago, but I'm back. Hopefully. This is completely not even makeup related whatsoever. Also, I would like to apologize about my English if it's not good, and also that I'm not always looking directly in the camera because I'm really shy and it's just a bit strange to be talking to yourself, but at the end I'm talking to you. So yeah, I kind of wanted to share my journey, and I just wanted to kind of tell you about my book. I have a little Q&A that I made myself, just so that I'm not that overwhelmed with my feelings and emotions about the book, because the book itself is a really big deal to me. I wrote a book in my native language, which is not English, unfortunately. It's Slovak. The book is out, it's published, and I decided that I'm gonna translate it into English, which is really hard, to be honest. I didn't expect it to be this hard. But it is, because of course English is not my first language. So I can show you my original book that's in Slovak, and I have it here. Oh my god, I still can't believe I wrote the book. This is the book, as you can tell. It's really cute cover of the main character and her three friends. So for the English version, I'm gonna have a different cover of the book, so that's why I'm showing you this one, because this is not gonna be the front cover of the English book, okay? But you can kind of like see the characters, how they look like. I'm not gonna show you the back cover because there is a little spoiler that I put, but I just want to keep you excited. I just want to keep the English readers excited. Each chapter has like this kind of lines on the top and on the bottom. She is on a thin line, and she is just really hectic, and she just does things without thinking, and so that's why there are those lines. And the second book is gonna have something different, like as visuals. So I really wanted this book to be beautiful aesthetically and also like visually. It's like that pretty contrast that you have, like, oh, it looks so cute on the outside, but when you read it, it's like, oh my god, it's actually really serious. I would also like to shout out my illustrator. You can follow her on Instagram. Her name is Catherine7MK, and she is a Russian illustrator, and I just love her artwork, especially now. She kind of like changed her style, so she's not drawing like this anymore. It's even prettier. So if you want to check out her artwork, so please just check her Instagram. Now I should kind of briefly tell you what's the book called and everything behind the writing process, and just everything behind the scenes. I was thinking a lot if I should like make a spoiler of the book title, but then it's already published like in my own language. So the book in English translation is called The Breakup Blues. Why this title? Breakup Blues. I have no idea, to be honest. And no, it kind of came to me out of nowhere. It doesn't necessarily mean like breakup as relationship breakups. To me, it kind of relates to like family breakups, or you have your own breakup in yourself, like when you're feeling really low about yourself, so then you're like, oh, I'm having a little bit of breakup blues with myself. Well, that's how I kind of refer it to. It doesn't necessarily mean to me like breakup, like relationship, couple breakup, you know. This whole breakup blues is gonna be a book series, so be prepared. I'm already writing the second book. Well, of course, still in Slovak, but as I'm going with this first book, translating it into English, of course, I'm gonna translate all of the books. So I prepared a few questions so that I'm not overwhelmed, as I mentioned before. Give a brief description of your book. I kind of did that already, or didn't I? So it's Breakup Blues, Vive la London. Vive la London, what that means, like why? Where did that come from? The main character, she is French, and she is coming to London to study, and she is starting her life from zero, and she kind of is not aware what's gonna happen to her. So that's why it's called Vive la London. The second question is, why did you write? This is a very important topic. Why did I write this book? Like, why? I'm already overwhelmed, like I have so many emotions going on right now. Okay, so I wrote this book because this is a Slovak, but this book, this story is a very important story to me. This whole book series is mainly about yourself. It's a book I think everyone should read, because I still didn't quite find so many books that talk about mental health or depression or eating disorders. If you know a book like this, please comment down below. I would love to read some of them, but I still couldn't find that many books. Nowadays, I think these topics are really important to talk about, because we have social media that can trick our heads, our minds. We have so many young girls, people in general, that are going through depression, and they may not even know that they have it, or maybe they're scared to talk about it, or maybe they don't want to talk about it. And that's why I wrote this book, because I was like this as well. Like, I was really quiet, I just didn't want to talk about it, and even if I wanted to talk about it, I kind of didn't have the person. I was ashamed of these feelings, and I kind of knew that my mom would not understand my feelings and the way I feel and what I feel and why I'm sad. She still doesn't understand that. When she asked me like, oh, but why are you sad, like just like that, like she doesn't get it. Yeah, it's sometimes really hard to explain what you're going through in your head with your mind. So that's why I wrote this book. I kind of started to write my own emotions on a paper. I was feeling really alone. I had no friends. I still have 0 friends, so that's why I created these characters. They're like my friends, to be honest. And yeah, I just wrote everything down. Everything, while I was crying on the paper. And then I kind of decided, like, stop. I just don't want to hide these things. I just want to write maybe a story about it and just put it out there so people can see that not everyone is okay. And especially, I think my country in general, we just don't talk about mental health at all. You have to be okay. You have to be okay. So that's why I am kind of translating the book to English, because I would like more people to read my story. I don't want to spoil that much, but this story about Nykolla, that's the main character in the first book, it's really important to me, because everything she feels, everything she's going through emotionally, mentally, the battle she has with herself, that's my own battle that I was going through. To get to know me a bit better, or to get to know my darker side, I suffer with depression and anxiety, and I have borderline personality disorder, which is, it's a hell of a ride to have these three things together. At this moment now, I'm doing good, and I'm really proud of myself. Oh my god, I want to cry. Moving on, is this book part of a series? So as I mentioned before, yes, Reka Blues is a series book. I am translating the first book, of course, and I'm also writing the second book in my language, and that one will be translated as well. As I said, every book I'll write will be translated, I don't know if that makes sense, in English, will be translated into English. So what is my writing style, or like the writing style of Reka Blues? I don't know my writing style, to be honest, but some reviews said that the book is really easy to read. Not like easy, like the story is easy, but like I was writing it, I was not putting really like hard words or something like that into the book. So I would say that. I can talk about like the process, how I was writing the book, which is kind of really hilarious, as I saw so many YouTube videos about authors and how they write and how they create like this whole plot and what's gonna happen. They create like perfect notes about the whole plot, about the characters, about what's gonna happen in each chapter. I didn't have anything like that. I was just writing. Yeah, I was kind of like learning about the story of the main character while I was writing it, which sometimes is not that good, but I think in my case it came out really good. I have to be a bit proud of myself. I heard that so many people ask, is like, how do you know where to stop the story, like where to stop the chapter and start new chapter? And to me, it's just like I just had this feeling like I have to stop the chapter. I don't know, it's really hard to explain. I just kind of knew I have to stop. My chapters are quite short, disclaimer. I don't know how they're gonna be in English, of course, because it's different language, so they might be longer, but in my native language my chapters are really short. What I was really scared of, that readers are not gonna like that, but actually they really like and enjoy that my chapters are shorter. I was really surprised about that, because I always thought like chapters have to be long, but apparently they don't have to be. So I was really pleasantly surprised. As I'm writing this second book, I can really tell that I got better in writing. The first book, it always kind of sucks, let's be real. Like the first book, the debut one, always sucks. And now I can really see it, because even if the story itself is good, it still needs a bit of something. My English version is gonna be like an extended version of the book, so it means that I'm translating the book, but I'm also adding a few new scenes. It's gonna be available only in the English version. If you would like to ask me some questions about the writing process or about the translating process, just comment down below as well. About the translating part, to be honest, I thought it's not gonna be that hard, because I studied English translation in college, but it is hard as hell. It's really hard, I'm not gonna lie. It's just because English is not my first language. Okay, yes, of course. Also, I don't know that many English words like those more expressive words. And thirdly, I have to kind of write in British English because I think because the story is basically in London, I kind of have to look for these slang words and like I don't know, it's really hard. It's really hard. Of course, after I'm done translating the book, I'll head it to editor or someone, and I have to find someone British that's gonna like edit the whole story and just make it more perfect. So the next question is, the setting of Breakup Blues adds much to the texture of the story. Can you tell us about why you chose to set the story there? Okay, so I think this is meant to why I chose London as my destination for this story, right? It's that place where I feel like home. Like it's like my second home. I was supposed to go to college in London as the main character, but I didn't attend for certain circumstances. Which I was really sad about and depressed as well. So that's why London. I feel this connection with that place, even though many people told me like, oh, London, like it's disgusting, it's horrible, I hate London. I just feel something inside of me, which is really weird. That I have to go there and I have to live there. But it's just like sometimes you have that feeling with a certain place or city, or it can be whatever, it can be house, anything at all, and you just feel like this is the place where I should be. And that's how I feel about London. Well, I hope that one day I will find myself in London. Like the story of breakup of the Viva London is not only in London, even though like it's happening in London, of course, but like the characters are also traveling to France. I'm not gonna tell you the cities because I don't want to spoil that much. There's a bit of traveling. Oh, and they will travel also to America, but I will not tell you why. Next question is, what was the most challenging part of writing this book? The most challenging part of writing this book was to writing about the main character's emotions or her thoughts. Let's specify. I wanted to be really honest in that book. I didn't want to like sugarcoat anything. Even though she has relationship in that book, okay? That was not the main focus for me. The main focus for me in this book is that it's her. It's her, and it's her friendship that she will have with the 3 other girls that are on the cover. Yeah, everything she is going through is based on my own feelings. This is the part of me I put into this book, and I was really scared about it, but I did it. I did it anyway. I have to drink my coffee. So I can kind of tell you also what the book is about, like the whole story. I can actually read you the annotation of the book, or how do you call it in English? Blurb. Blurb? Oh my goodness, I'm so bad. So, meet Nykolla, a young girl in her 20s trying to get her life back to normal after a mental breakdown arriving in London. Together with her new friends and cousin Lynn, she goes through adult life, which is definitely not as rosy as she thought. Convinced that she is fine, she meets her mother again years later, falls in love for the first time, and her life becomes even more complicated. Confused by her feelings and afraid of a new relationship, Naya falls to the bottom from which she will try to climb up again with the help of her friends. How could she have known that adulthood was just the beginning of growing up? I don't know, it's a blurb. I didn't kind of edited it, I just translated it by myself. So if it's not perfect or if something doesn't make sense, then let me know. Look, hi. Say hi. Ciao. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what kind of mental breakdown she had. You'll have to wait and read it yourself. But so she thinks she's doing fine, right? But she meets new friends, she starts like this new life for her, like full of parties and whatever, and she meets with her mother and everything is gonna fall apart. She just kind of needs to get herself up again, like on her feet, if that makes sense. There is some shocking twists and some surprising twists as well. She is not completely me, but part of me is in this character. Spoiler alert. What I wanted with this series is that each one of the girls, the main character and the other three friends, each one of them will have some kind of battle or problem, and in each book I'm gonna pick one of the characters and I'm gonna talk about their struggles and their problems and what they're going through. With this debut book that I have, it was much easier because I can kind of connect with Naya. With the other three characters, it's a bit trickier, but still, piece of me is in every character somehow. Even in those three friends. Definitely, I think you'll have your own favorite character because they're so completely different from each other, but they complement each other so well. So maybe that's why their friendship is so strong, and even though they're going through their own things, at the end they're gonna solve them together. The friendship is the main focus because they can go through anything together. Together they're inseparable. I can talk about the characters in a different video, actually, like in more depth, and just really like break down the characters, the main character and also the side characters. But yeah, I definitely think you'll have your own favorite. I just love each one of the character, each one of the girl. I don't know if I have any more questions actually. Let me check, because this video is gonna be anyway too long and I don't even know if this video will make sense, because it's like, I think this video is gonna be a mess, so I really deeply apologize. I'll try to edit it as good as I can, but I don't think I think I'm gonna fail. What drew you to this particular story? What drew me to this particular story? I think I already said that. I just love the chaos in this book. Yeah, this book is a bit chaotic, but in a good way, of course, because the main character is a complete chaos. I had a few reviews that they didn't kind of like connected with the main character, which is completely fine because she is a really specific individual that not that many people can understand. So maybe even that's why I love her so much. Like, I'm also chaotic and I just really connect to this main character so much. She's like a tornado and like she can change from minute, and that's also part of having a borderline personality disorder. It's just like your emotions change within a minute. I can also talk about my BPT like in a complete different video. Like we can get really serious and just open the wounds and just talk about it and drink a tea. If you would like me to share my story of having a BPT and depression. The story is funny, the story is sad, the story is serious. I don't know how I did it. I don't even know how I could put so many themes and so many serious topics and also funny banners, and everything just blends together so well. I just don't want to like be like a spoiled brat and now tell you that, oh my god, I wrote so amazing book. No, that's not the truth. I also had really bad reviews because I cannot please everyone with my story, right? With this chaos. This is a chaos, but in a good way. Please trust me. I think that's it. There is one more question that I would like to answer, and that is, what can readers hope to learn from this book? What I would like the English readers all around the world to learn from this book is, if you don't suffer with any mental health issues, if you're really doing great, then just read this story and listen. Listen to your closest one, ask them if they're okay, and I just hope that they will truly understand and take it seriously. I hope that they will learn about mental health. They will learn more about what it's like having a borderline personality disorder. I hope that they will share this story. I hope that they will appreciate this story as well, and they will appreciate me for putting it out there and to share basically my story. I didn't want this to be that serious, but I mean the book is serious, even if from the outside, like the cover, the book looks so cute and just like vibrant and pinky blue colors, but then the story is serious. If you would like to know more like behind the scenes, I already posted some behind the scenes in English of the translation and the process of it, so you can also check out my Instagram, which is gonna be down below. If you're really interested more about my book or like about makeup, because I mainly focus on doing makeup stuff, makeup related videos, or if you're interested of me talking about the process, like here on YouTube about my book, if my story catched your eye, then you can also follow me here, because as I mentioned, I will kind of do another video about I'm gonna break the characters, so you can get to know them better. If you have any questions, if you want to kind of publish a book and you don't know how, I still don't know how actually, myself, like I don't know how to publish a book like abroad. I still have to kind of learn, so we can learn together. I'm gonna make like a special category where I'm gonna upload videos about my book, so they are separated from the makeup video. I can also make like a mini vlog video where I'm gonna like really, you can like see me writing and translating and being a complete mess. Or I can also do like a little sneak peek. I can read something from already translated chapters. If you are interested, just let me know in the comments. And yeah, if you want to be my friend, subscribe to this channel, and I hope I'll see you soon. So bye.